We've got Laravel. I'm curious if the Rails people have a resurgence. Because Rails is a framework for 40-plus-year-olds, and I wonder if they start to pick up some of the youth of the nation at this point, because in the same way that Laravel is like built for this, Rails is too. But I don't know if they have anybody driving forward on that content front.
I was wondering that, and that it seems like, I mean, Laravel, even though I think they could be doing even more to market what they are doing and push on it, like they have already embraced AI a lot. Like we have Boost, we have all kinds of, we have Taylor's going to announce
Taylor's
this new,
tweeting about skills
library. We got skills coming. So there's a lot of AI stuff in the works, which and I don't follow Rails very closely, but I don't get the impression that much or any of that has been done in the Rails world yet.
Your friend DHH is big on the open code stuff, and of course he's taking he's taking a principles approach to like, open source. I got to fight with the world, but like he's embraced. He was on Lex Friedman at one point saying like, I'm gonna write code until I die, and now he's like, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, I like this. So that seems like progress.
I knew about that he got AI pilled, and that I try to avoid everything DHH says. So I didn't directly hear this, but this is my understanding. Which, I mean, I think DHH tends to be practical in the end, even if it means totally flip-flopping. And so, I think
we're changing his mind on things when presented with new evidence. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's just whatever you want to call it. That's
fine.
Yeah,
this might be relevant to the conversation later.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, DHH burns all the bridges on the way out the door, right? Like he's like, you're all a bunch of fucking idiots for using the AI, right? I'm going to go talk about it for 4 hours on Lex Friedman, how you're all idiots. And then there's a lot of like negativity usually with DHH in the one direction. And then he changes his mind, and it's all flowery and amazing. Why were you guys such idiots for not following me down this beautiful path when, the reverse, we were idiots a year ago? But whatever.
He is a man of passion. I will give him that. Strong opinions, strongly held, as they say. Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. Have you heard anything about Rails itself getting AI stuff?
I have not heard anything about Rails as it relates to AI affordances or AI workflows, or I've heard, and I haven't even heard people championing like, hey y'all, AI is good with Rails because it's 1,000 years old. And
I haven't even heard that.
No, I haven't either. Not even once.
Yeah. Very weird. That's where I do think there's some opportunity here for Laravel. Like, I just think, especially as people start building real apps, like we're still so in the phase of like, I built this app in 2 days, and it works. But like once you get some customers, it's not going to work as well. Like whatever, you're going to realize people are going to start to, then you're going to see all the thought pieces about like, when you're writing apps with AI and you're vibe coding them, you should make sure you have a good foundation for your vibe coded app, because so if you get some users, you're going to want this performance, and you're going to want database XYZ and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So like, we'll have the whole cycle where people relearn the same thing again. And once you get to that part of the cycle, then it's like, aha, well, how do I do that? Well, we have these tools here. And I think this is Taylor's pitch, is that now like PHP maybe in some people's mind was a negative for things like Laravel, but maybe now it's irrelevant, because who cares what the language is? I'm not going to ever have to deal with the language.
I'm not looking at the $sign variables. It doesn't matter.
I don't care about that. You have all your curly braces you want, whatever. And I don't have to look at it, so I don't really care. And great. So that's an advantage for Laravel, which we were having this discussion, and I agree with that too. Like, I think like that's totally true.
I think that's
true. Great. Yeah. So hopefully, again, that's like more about like, let's push that forward and make sure people understand these things, and like even push that scenario, I think, in different areas, so that it's like to seep into the brains, But
in terms of language becoming less of a decision factor, that's a huge win when compared to Ruby, because Ruby people are always talking about how beautiful and elegant Ruby is, and I'm inclined to believe them. It does read very nicely. But now if Ruby is so lovely for the human to work with, and other people say that PHP is ugly, I don't agree to that. And now languages are less like relevant, then we get a big boost, and they lose one of their core tenets, which is it's joyful to work with. That's interesting.
That's very interesting. This is where we need the marketing of like, beauty, who cares? The AI works super great with this. Nothing has more of a history than PHP. Like PHP is like the oldest of these
Mhm.
mainline programming web languages. So the AI knows it super well. Blah blah. Laravel's been around 15 years. The AI knows it super well. So yeah, I think there's a case there.
Laravel versus Rails, the battle for the elder millennials. It's great. I love
Yeah.
it. It's
It's sort of
perfect.
like a redux, you know, Laravel versus Rails redux. Like we
Yep.
had this, and then it kind of simmered out, right, where everybody had their corners.
And we took refuge, any port in a storm. Laravel and Rails teamed up together against the JavaScript incumbent, and
Mhm.
now we're back out there, man, duking
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah. I like it. I kinda like this phase. Yeah, I like when the frameworks
Yeah.
are fighting. There's some juice in there. Good content,
Oh
all the stuff.
man, you thought, once everybody was like, "Ah, I actually don't know what framework it is underneath. We're just using AI." You thought the fights would be over, but the fights are still there are so many
Yes.
fights. Why does everyone love to fight about everything?
Yeah, and that's where when that starts to take hold, it's like that's where having all the articles out there that talk about Laravel with AI are gonna be super
Yeah.
important because obviously everybody's gonna be like, "I'm gonna talk to the AI," right? You'd be like, "AI, what framework should I use as, like, my backend
Oh
framework?"
man, we're
And we want it
doomed.
to say, "Oh, Laravel is the best choice for this." We don't want it to say
Right.
Rails is the best choice or whatever, some Python thing or whatever. We want it to say Laravel. It's where SEO, it all comes back to SEO in
It
one form
all
or
comes back
another.
to SEO, the
Yep,
oldest profession in the world,
it's true.
SEO.